Hi, today we are going to learn about coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry is a field in mathematics which has wide-reaching applications in physics as well as pure mathematics. It deals with the idea of position as well as representation of data. First, we'll start with an illustration. Imagine a classroom of 49 students who have been arranged into 7 rows and 7 columns. So if I were to discuss the position of a student, say sitting here, called student A, the best way to go about it would be to say student A is sitting in column 2 and row 5. And so therefore with that information I can locate student A uniquely. Similarly, if I were to talk about the position of say student B sitting here, I would say the student is sitting in column 5 and row 3. And with that information I would have the unique position of student B in the class. Another way to do that would be to say that the student B is sitting 3 rows from the front and 5 rows from the left. And similarly for student A, I would say the student is sitting 5 seats from the front and 2 seats from the left. Now this basically tells us that the position of a point in a plane can be uniquely represented or uniquely given by the distance from two perpendicular lines. Now this case was good for discrete numbers, that is having 49 students, which are finite in number. But if we were to represent the position of a point in which infinite number of elements are involved, the best way to go about it would be to not consider benches but to consider number lines. Now you are already familiar with the idea of number lines. So let's talk about two perpendicular number lines, the horizontal one being x dash and the vertical one being y dash. I will name the zeros here. Now as we did in this case, we can proceed in a similar fashion in this case, but the advantage of using number lines is that we can now represent the position of infinitely many elements, because each number line itself has infinite elements of real numbers. So when we superpose two perpendicular number lines, one vertical and the other one horizontal, we get what is called the Cartesian plane. And the common zero of both these number lines is called the origin. First we'll start off with a general discussion on the number line. The positive x direction is called x conventionally, and the negative x direction is called x dash conventionally, and the positive y direction is called y, and the negative y direction is called y dash. Also, you notice that the two number lines have divided the whole 2D plane into 4 parts. The first part, which is covered by the x portion of the x-axis and the positive portion of the x-axis and the positive portion of the y-axis, is called the first coordinate, wherein x is positive and the y-axis is also positive. And this one is called the second quadrant, wherein the x part of the number line is negative and the y is positive. And similarly in the third quadrant, both x and y are negative. And in what is called the fourth quadrant, we have x which is positive and y which is negative. Now the idea of quadrants will be of grave importance when we delve deeper into the subject of coordinate geometry. Now let's talk about the representation of points in the coordinate in the Cartesian plane. Now if you were to discuss the location of this point, let's call it A. We would first of all notice that point A is at a distance of 1 unit from the x-axis and 2 units from the y-axis. There is 2 units from the y-axis and 1 unit from the x-axis. And so therefore, we can draw perpendiculars to the x-axis and to the y-axis, which are of length 1 and 2 respectively. Now conventionally, point A would be given by the distance from the y-axis and the distance from the x-axis. Now, since negative numbers are involved, the sense in which you move is also important. So if we were to discuss, say, the position of this point, say point B, the distance remains 2 units from the x-axis and 3 units from the y-axis, but the representation would be -3 and -2 to take care of the sense in which one has to move. That is, you have to move in the negative direction of x as well as negative direction of y. Also keep in mind that these are ordered sets, that is, the discussion of coordinate, the representation of points in coordinate form are ordered sets. So therefore 4, 3 is not equal to 3, 4. And I'll show you why. When you talk about 4, 3, it says the point of discussion is 4 units from the y-axis, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 units from the x-axis, 1, 2, 3. And so this is the point, this is the point 4, 3. And if you were to talk about 3, 4, that would be 3 units from the y-axis and 4 units from the x-axis. This would be the point 3, 4. You see how 3, 4 and 4, 3 are totally different points. And so therefore, the coordinate representation of points in a Cartesian plane are ordered sets, and so therefore the order in which they are listed is important. Here, something else that needs to be kept in mind is that the x coordinate, or the distance from the y-axis, is called the abscissa, and the y coordinate, or the distance from the x-axis, is called the ordinate. Next up, we will talk about representation of different points in the Cartesian plane. Say we were to represent 2, 5 in the Cartesian plane. So that would be 2 units from the y-axis and 5 units from the x-axis. So 1, 2, 2 units from the y-axis and 5 units from the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is 2, 5. Also, if you were to talk about 1 minus 2, that is 1 unit in the positive direction from the y-axis and 2 units in the negative direction from the x-axis. And so therefore 1 in the positive and 2 in the negative. So that is 1, minus 2. Now if we were to discuss, say, point minus 4, 3. So that will be 4 units from the y-axis in the negative direction of x, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 units from the x-axis in the positive direction of y. And so therefore this point is minus 4, 3. And similarly, if we were to plot the position of, say, minus 3, minus 3, that will be minus 3 and minus 3. You get the idea. So at this stage, this is pretty much all that we need to cover. But please keep in mind that the idea or the philosophy behind coordinate geometry is very useful and has many applications when it comes to physical sciences or pure mathematics in itself, which you will learn in higher classes. For now, this is all. Thank you.